Good morning, fifth graders, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you're watching this. It is currently 9:49 in the morning, so I am recording this as I'm drinking my second cup of coffee. But I wanted to dive in and talk to you guys about a new writing activity that I am presenting to you during our distant learning time. Now, we're going to be working on writing a memoir. Now, a memoir is not the same as a diary or a journal. It's a different type of writing and it has a specific style, specific content, but we're going to be talking about that content and style later on. But we're going to talk for a second about what your memoir is going to be based about. Your memoir is going to be about the coronavirus, okay? The coronavirus going on right now is the biggest historical event in our global history since World War II. So no one in this lifetime has ever experienced something like this before. I know right now you have a lot of questions. It's scary. It's okay to be concerned and scared, and there's a lot of unknowns, and it's a very, very tumultuous time in our history. And so it's important that right now you guys take all of these feelings that you're experiencing and working on creating a writing piece to go with it so that in the future you have some writing to give to people that want to know what life was like during this time. My grandmother, she's no longer alive. She passed away when I was 18, but she lived through the Great Depression. She lived through World War II. She lived through the Vietnam War. She lived through a lot of different historical events. And she actually had created a memoir during each one of these experiences and these times that she was living through. And I actually had the pleasure of reading it when she was still alive. And it was really, really fascinating to read what it was like during that time period through her eyes. So I'm hoping that you guys are able to use this writing time to create documentation on your feelings. So I'm hoping you take this seriously. We're going to work on this as a writing project like we would in class. But we're going to be writing about the coronavirus, and right down here, basically the same thing I just said. Your children will one day ask you about this and what it was like. Our writing for the next few weeks will be to create a coronavirus memoir. But we need to talk about what is a memoir. A memoir is a piece of writing that tells a historical event from personal experience. So, you are each going to tell of a historical event, but through your own personal experiences. Our world has been turned completely upside down. There's no way of knowing now how it will all turn out. But that's what makes this a good opportunity to document what is going on. While learning from home, you'll be assigned every few days a different topic to write about in your memoir. We will work on different storytelling elements to help you feel more comfortable with this style or writing. We will also be using technology to create our memoir, not paper. And this way you'll be able to add photographs, videos, etc. to your document. This makes it more three-dimensional and engaging. However, this is still a writing assignment, and we are going to be learning about how to tell a story effectively and how to make our writing interesting to read. Each time we work on this, you'll be giving a writing prompt to add into your writing and a chance to tell a different story. We will discuss that prompt as a class first to help you generate ideas. Then you will get a chance to write. So every couple days, I'm going to be posting a prompt for you on Google Classroom. And that prompt is what you're going to be writing about that day. Also, when I post the prompt, in order to help you generate ideas, I'm also going to ask you to comment on that post that I make on Google Classroom so that you are helping your classmates generate ideas as well. So with that being said, this is what your writing is going to look like. I'm going to be giving you this document, and I'll be posting on Google Classroom prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3. And then you'll be editing and entering your prompt over on this column. And then you're going to have a really long column and a really long table. And then we'll eventually work on creating a draft and going from there. This is just where you're going to document your writing. But before we get into the writing process, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I did want to share with you guys a video on what a memoir is. And so it's not a diary. It's not something that is real blah and bland. A memoir has spice. It has some engaging elements in it that make your readers feel like they're actually living through this time as well. So I'm going to jump over to my YouTube tab and we're going to watch a quick video on what a memoir is before we get into the writing process. Here we go.
What's a memoir? How would the story of your life read? Would anyone other than your mother want to read it? And if your mother did read it, well, we're sorry you went so soon. A memoir is a book of memories. But what makes it different from a diary? Why does it get its very own word? Well, mostly because it's exhausting to pen one. Memoirs are works of literary nonfiction. They have to be about the writer's real experiences, but sound and feel like literature. In a memoir, the writer gets to be the main character. Talk about your ego trip. Yet the memoirist has free rein to dwell on his or her thoughts, feelings, and reflections.
Who is that handsome devil?
It's the writer's party, and he'll cry if he wants to. And then he'll describe his crying in vivid, painful detail. Memoirs are subjective, so memoir writers even get to play fast and loose with the minor facts. In a memoir, the writer's version of the truth always wins. So memoirists are usually better looking on the page than in real life.
This is my good side.
The writer has to choose a theme or purpose and decide which memories to include and which details to omit. And the pacing needs to be just right so readers can relive the moments with the characters. Memoirists have to stir enough background information into the story for readers to understand the context and the events, but they also have to leave out a lot of information, which means resisting the urge to describe every Thanksgiving dinner Grandma ever made, no matter how awesome the stuffing was. Readers should be able to imagine the setting, the action, and the relationships between characters. Oh, and by the way, when characters talk to each other in memoirs, they don't speak formally.
Ain't that the truth?
The dialogue is written the way real people would actually talk. So put down the red pen and stop worrying so much about all the improper grammar.
Give me that them there red pen.
Once all is said and done, the memoirist gets to decide how to leave the readers, which could even mean abandoning them to show that life isn't fair. Harsh, yeah, but in a well-written memoir, readers should learn something about life with a capital L, not just about the writer's brief stay on planet Earth. So what's a memoir? A memoir is blood, sweat, tears, and ink. You provide the blood, sweat, and tears, being sold separately.
All right, so here's something I'm going to pause real quick and we're going to discuss. Big fat review. Memoirs are a book of memories, works of literary nonfiction, real experiences, and you as the writer need to be in charge of creating the sound and feel of how this memoir is going to be. Are you right now experiencing a lot of fear and sadness and uncertainty during this time, during the coronavirus? In your writing, you are going to express those same feelings. If you are feeling very rested and enjoying this time at home with your family, and you are feeling rejuvenated by not having to get up and go to school every day, then you're going to write that those feelings down in your memoir. Basically, you want to have your readers experience your feelings during this time. So I'm going to go back over here to my document on what this information or what this memoir is going to look like. And then just real quick, I'm going to scroll down to my last page here that I have with you. Just really quickly going to review the writing process. So right now we are just in the planning and drafting phases. And then we're going to go down through these phases later on. But right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing the prompt each day. And then you're going to comment what you're writing about so your fellow classmates can get some ideas. And then you're going to be drafting your writing in this document that I'm going to be sharing with you on another post with our first prompt. So you're not going to see this document until you get your first prompt. And then after we get all of our prompts done, then we're going to go in the editing, revising, and publishing phases. We'll be working on that later. I don't want to get too in depth with that right now. Just know that right now we're doing planning and drafting. The planning is going to take place during every prompt that I post, and then the drafting is going to take place as you're writing in this document. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go back over to my Google Classroom. You right now, hopefully just watch this video that I'm recording at this moment. When you are done watching this video, you need to answer this question in the comment section on Google Classroom right here. It says, this is such a historic time in global history. In the future, your kids and grandchildren are going to ask you what it was like living through the coronavirus pandemic. So you hand them this memoir to read. What are 3 emotions that you are experiencing you want your readers to also experience while reading this one day? Your answer must be in complete sentences. So I want you to watch this video. Then you're going to go to Google Classroom, Memoir Writing 101, and you're going to comment on this post answering this question. I'll type it here, that you want your readers to also experience. It is really important that you guys are participating in not only the writing, but the commenting. In order for us to brainstorm and get ideas to help one another, you have to do this commenting. It's super, super important. I am going to be posting our first writing prompt today also, having another video on that, and you guys can hopefully start writing your first prompt in the Google Doc. If you have any questions, message me, and I look forward to seeing your reading, or seeing your writing. Take care, guys.